sports coverage of the National Football League. Brings us to Indianapolis, Indiana, where they fire up the crowd with the striking of the anvil, as it's time for football at Lucas Oil Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts.
2026 Indianapolis Colts.
Mike Tirico in the booth with Greg Olson and Blake Grupe on the field to get this started. Off we go from downtown Indianapolis. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So here comes the Jaguars, and Greg, it brings out Trevor Lawrence. Many ups and downs in his first 4 seasons. Now year 5 for the former #1 overall pick out of Clemson.
You think back just a few years ago, Mike, Trevor Lawrence coming out of Clemson, he was regarded as one of the top quarterback prospects of the last decade, and at times he's fit the billing, but it's been the inconsistency, protect the ball, turnovers. If he can clean up a lot of those miscues, he could be one of the top quarterbacks in this league.
And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That's into the hands of Travis Etienne. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. 11 yards on the pass there. First down, Jacksonville.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
Parker Washington was the intended receiver. And it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what every defense is trying to do in the passing game. They want to muddy up these windows, Mike. Make every throw as contested as possible. No separation, contact right at the catch point, and does a great job forcing the incomplete pass.
Lawrence now on second down. He takes off. Trevor avoids the hit, takes a slide, but also picks up a first down.
And the Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
He'll take off again, and he will slide to a halt, but he does have the first down.
A gain of 23 more.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life. His speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on the big scramble. He's able to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive.
They fake the jet sweep and give it up the middle. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. Play is stopped. We have an injury to one of the Jaguars. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Second down, 8 yards to go. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. This one caught left side, that screen. And he's in! Brett Captain Strange. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Exactly the way they scripted this one. A beautiful opening drive, Greg. Able to find the end zone on the game's first possession.
And Mike, the word that comes to mind looking at that drive is execution, and that's exactly what they talked about all week long. They wanted to come out early in this game and establish an early rhythm, and that's exactly what they did with that touchdown drive.
Cam Little comes on now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jaguars will take a 7-0 lead.
Jaguars 7, Colts nothing.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Here comes Amir Abdullah on the return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Colts offense going to take the field here for the first time. They are led out by the 6'4" quarterback. Out of Notre Dame, it's Riley Leonard.
Now, this is the type of quarterbacks that just give defensive coordinators nightmares. They stay up all night thinking, okay, what is the best way to defend him? Do we treat him as a runner? Do we treat him as a passer? And I think that's really where the most stress comes in, Mike, is you want to make sure you don't let him kill you with his legs downfield as a runner, but it's also his ability to extend plays as a passer that really creates a lot of stress on your back-end coverage, and that's where those big plays can come. So it's a big challenge. They know it. We'll find out early on what the plan is.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and a yard. Play action. Now it's Leonard. He's got a man. That's Josh Downs. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield. Looks like we have an injured Colt on that play. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Play action. Here is Leonard. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
And after allowing a chunk play on that previous down, nice job there settling in. They make a big play of their own, and they get him down for a sack.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Operating out of the gun, it is Leonard. Open man, that's Alec Pierce. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable 3rd down, getting some good yardage on that 2nd down play.
And that's a nice grab for his first catch of the game, Mike. And he's someone that the play caller has told us he wants to get him early touches, get him a feel for the game. A nice job there making that happen.
It's 3rd down, and here is Leonard. That's caught by the first-round pick, Tyler Warren. 13 yards on that pass play. 1st down, Indianapolis.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
I know, I'm biased. But listen, you can't convince me, Mike, that there's a better option on the field, especially when you got a guy like this, than on 3rd down or critical moments. That's where the ball needs to go. The size, the speed, the matchup problems that he creates. If I was in a critical situation, there is no doubt where I'm going with that.
A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, It just ends up being a wasted down.
Leonard to throw again. He'll look deep for Pittman. And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman with that one. And it's going to be third down.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. Next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
He gets this one complete to Pittman. We saw throws like that on Saturdays in South Bend. The result, a first down.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They go right back to Taylor. And they'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to third down.
13-yard line. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
From the gun, here's Leonard. He's going to have a first down and then some.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Colts, first down. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Nothing really fancy about that last completion, but what it does do, Mike, is now they are on the doorstep of the end zone. So now they've got to find a way to finish this long drive with a touchdown.
Taylor, and he is going the wrong way, tackled back at the 7.
A loss of 3.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
Now from the 7, it's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he'll take this one in. Jonathan Taylor. Touchdown, Colts.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down to score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score in the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come away with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Blake Groupie comes on for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Colts come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. From the 6, here comes a return. He's to midfield. Inside the 20. And he's going to take this all the way back. 91 yards. Touchdown, Jacksonville. You talk about a response. After the offense goes down the field and gets a touchdown, the special teams unit comes back to get the 6 right back for the other side.
And I've been there, Mike. You find yourself on offense, you watch your opponent go down and get a touchdown, and you're saying amongst each other, you're saying, hey, we're going to get the ball back. Let's go get one of our own. But in this case, the return unit says, no, offense, you stay on the sideline. We got this. And they go back and get a score of their own.
Little on now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Jaguars will move out to a 14-7 lead.
Colts 7.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Ashton Doolin now to return it. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Colts offense ready to possess the football for the second time. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Leonard to throw. He'll step up and run this. And he'll give himself up here. It's a gain of 5 on 1st down.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away. Picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. To the air is Leonard. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And this yields nothing. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
From the gun, here's a throw by Leonard. He'll try and get there on the ground. Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a 1st down.
That's good for a Colts 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up 1st down.
And a strong 1st down run, a pickup of 9, setting up 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
They'll fake the handoff, and here is Leonard. And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. To throw is Leonard. A dive and a catch. Incredible. It's been a busy 1st quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a 1st down.
And that's what you call being fearless, going over the middle. That's not everybody's cup of tea in this league, Mike. Some guys love to operate outside the numbers, and some guys understand their role is in the middle of the field, and not only to make that catch, but to do it laying out. That's a big-time play to secure that one.
They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
This is a great example of why teams want to stay out of what they call passing downs, where a defense doesn't have to honor the run. In this case, they do, and man, the play-action pass just works off of that and can really lead to some chunk plays.
On the give, this is Taylor. And he will work his way to the 11-yard line. Good running and a 1st down.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen, and not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2, but it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor, and when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense. Well, you know, Mike, if I had to guess, I'd say that's probably not what they had in mind when they called that play, but those guys on defense, it felt like they knew what was coming from the start, and they got to him in a hurry.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Looking to throw. It's Leonard. That's the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's in. Mo Alley-Cox. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
And what a fitting end to this drive, Mike. It only makes sense that he's the one that gets the ball in the end zone after making a handful of clutch plays prior to the touchdown. That was just a textbook example of one guy taking over the game.
On comes Blake Groupie for the PAT. The kick is good, and the Colts will tie things up. We are all even at 14. We are all square, 14 apiece the score as this one's away. This one taken at the 7. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
They'll give it to ETN to start this drive. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
On the tackle.
We are through 1. Knotted at 14 on the scoreboard. We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. The Jaguars with the ball as quarter number 2 begins. They've got it 2nd down and 11. Lawrence. To the left side, it is caught by Myers. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
That's good for a Jaguars 1st down. A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Jaguars.
So here's a play, Mike, that is clearly designed to attack the middle 3rd of the field. So think it's roughly the space between the numbers. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And once he understood where his leverage was and he gets his head around, great job by the quarterback on time, delivering a strike.
Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Jermaine Pratt up to make the stop. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Now Lawrence. Open right side. That strains the tight end. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Remember, he had the touchdown on the opening drive, and here on drive 2, he gets a first down with that catch.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest. Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
They'll get creative here on the jet sweep. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. 20-yard pickup there. That's good for a Jaguar. First down.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Jacksonville.
So the challenge of these jet sweeps, Mike, is they happen so fast. Nowadays in these offenses, there's so much pre-snap motion that you don't know if the receiver's just going in regular motion or are they timing it up with the snap to give him the jet sweep. So when you don't get an early read, you see the leverage and the contain of the defense break down, and when these receivers and the way they can run, they get out into space, they are a handful to track down.
The Colts 13-yard line.
They'll come up on a second down and 8. Back to throw. Lawrence. This one complete to Washington. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and
he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Jaguars. Here's Cam Little for the PAT. He's got it, and the Jaguars have broken the deadlock as they move out to a 21-14 lead. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Colts offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. They're searching here for the tying score, down 21-14, and they'll begin 1st and 10. In motion is Warren. He'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. And he works his way through an opening. Up past the 35. Nice run for 8 on that one.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 1. They'll go again here with Taylor. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Now the offensive coordinator's got a decision on his hand, Mike. It was 2nd and 1. He decides to go with a conservative run, gets stopped for no gain. He's in the exact same position now on 3rd down. Does he try to change it up, or does he just turn around and hand it off again?
On 3rd and a couple, here's Leonard. In middle, and he's got downs.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Colts, 1st down.
It takes a certain guy in that slot position to be willing and able to go across the middle of the defense on those in-breaking routes. You can tell this guy, he doesn't care. He is fearless going across the middle, and he's able to secure a nice catch.
On 1st down, Leonard. Open man downfield, it's Pittman. And they're going to get this ball down to the 20-yard line. A big gainer for Indianapolis. 35 yards.
20-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
Here's Leonard now throwing on 1st and 10. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it, but I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Throwing again is Leonard. Inside the 10, it is caught. And it's going to be 1st and goal coming up. Tackle made at the 5-yard line.
That's another Colts 1st down.
Really nice job there, Mike. All they're trying to do is just clear some space for the tight end and then let him go to work in the middle of the field. Now they're set up nicely inside the red zone.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. Couldn't reach that ball across, setting up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Pick it up, you're embarrassing us.
The ball a little closer now. It is 2nd and goal. And he's going to be swallowed up, taken down, sacked back at the 5. Getting in for the sack, and that's going to make it 3rd and goal.
And that's a big-time play. It felt like they really needed it, Mike. That was a drive where the offense seemed to be in complete control. Anytime on the defense where you find yourself on your heels, you're giving up big plays, you're giving up fresh set of downs, you need a spark. You need something to change the momentum of the drive, and we'll see if that was it right there.
They'll try and run. Here's Taylor. He'll take this down to the 2, but that is it. Good job by the defense to hold it to a gain of 3 and set up 4th down.
That one didn't have a chance, Mike. They do a great job of getting penetration, clogged up the run lanes, and now this offense has a decision to make here on 4th down.
From the 2, they're going to go for it here. It is 4th and goal. They'll try to run, and he's not going anywhere. Stuffed behind the line. They have turned it over on downs.
And here we have a real gutsy call here, Mike, early in this game offensively. I think you're giving up a surefire field goal attempt, but at the same time, you're demonstrating to your players, hey, offense, I have a lot of trust in you, and let's see if they have this same approach as the rest of this game plays on.
Here comes the Jacksonville offense now, heading back onto the field. They'll have a long field ahead of them as they start 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Lawrence. That one down the field, but It is incomplete. Brenton Strange was his intended target. And it'll lead to a second down.
Contrary to what all of the fans at home think, I don't have rooting interest in any of these games. But as you know, when it comes to tight ends, there's no bigger fan than this guy right here. I want to see them be able to connect, especially on those big plays downfield.
And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Backfield empties. 5 receivers in the formation for 3rd down and 5. And they're going to move this all the way up near the 35-yard line. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
For a Jaguars first down.
So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these 3rd downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force 3rd down, they got to get off the field.
Lawrence gives this one to Etienne. Lots of space past the 45. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 41. 25 yards, the pickup there. First down, Jacksonville.
Well, that's a heck of a 1-2 punch right there, and that's something that every offense stresses. The ability to be equally effective run and pass on any given snap. They follow up the successful pass play with a big explosive run.
This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Throwing right, it's taken in. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
So, 2 minutes to play in a back and forth first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this. 3rd and a yard. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. He'll find his tight end. It's Strange. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
This pass defense, it just has to be better than this, Mike. They have to do a better job accounting for everybody in their coverages. They have to play their defense exactly according to the plan, because if not, this quarterback has enough weapons, he can spread the ball out and find the open space.
And that is incomplete, but now a penalty flag comes in late. He might have been caught with his hands in the cookie jar.
Automatic first down.
So that pass interference in the end zone puts the pressure on the defense. It is 1st and goal from the 1. That one broken up in the end zone. It's incomplete. Wow, the coverage excellent there. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd.
Doesn't get much better than that. Had he gotten there just a little bit earlier, he probably draws the flag a little late, and it's probably a touchdown.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Man in motion here is Washington. Etienne. And this one ruined quickly. Take them back to the 5-yard line. Now the Colts will use the first of their timeouts. Talk things over before 3rd down. Here's a run with their tight end. And this defense standing tall in the red zone. They stop him for no gain. And now it's 4th and goal.
4th and goal.
So it is fourth down, and that'll bring on Cam Little for this Jaguars field goal. Little's kick is good, and the Jaguars going to extend their lead. It's now 24-14.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in first and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
So, after the field goal, back out is Little to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Here's Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense heading back for their next possession. The deficit is 10, 24-14. So work to do as they come up for 1st and 10. Operating out of the gun, it is Leonard. Pass right side to Downs.
To Josh Downs. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line.
2nd down and 8. Now Leonard. He'll take a deep shot for Downs. That is hard. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
A gain of 31
The
yards.
Colts will signal for their third and final timeout. They'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go until halftime.
41-yard line.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. From the gun, here's Leonard. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. And that defender's bearing down. You really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. That one good for 26 yards.
This is a really nice job of just finding a hole in coverage, Mike. And I used to say, hey, when you're open, stay open. That's the art of route running versus zone coverage. And it's a friendly target for the quarterback in space, and they're able to convert.
And that's going to be over everyone. Incomplete. Nothing ever really developed there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, this is something that we typically see out of maybe a more veteran quarterback, not necessarily a rookie, but just having a really nice sense of game management, throw the ball away, and live for the next down.
To the air once more, Leonard. The Jaguars have it. The defense comes up with a play in the red zone. Those active hands get to the quarterback, knock it out, and they come up with the recovery.
Mike, we see this from time to time down here when an offense is operating in the red zone. The field shrinks, coverage gets a little bit tighter, quarterbacks tend to hold the ball a little too long, and that's exactly what came back to bite them right here.
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you. Second half drawing near. So good to have you back with us here on EA Sports. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Colts offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with first down. Leonard to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 31-yard line.
Waste of time.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's a under pressure, and down he goes. They got him. Emmanuel Ogba getting in to drop him. It's a loss of 6, and it's third down.
Well, as they face this possible 3-and-out following that second down sack, now if you're the quarterback, you've got to be thinking, get the ball out of my hand, find a matchup I like downfield, and try to push this ball past the sticks and keep this drive alive.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. To the air is Leonard. Here's a deep shot for Pierce. And that is incomplete.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the third quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive. But instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
A fair catch. He's going to call it and take it right around his own 30-yard line. The Jaguars offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. They're going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. First and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 8. In motion is Myers. Second down, Lawrence. He's got Myers on the completion. And nice work there after the catch. He's a little short of the first down after a gain of 7.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
They'll try to sneak it here. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
It's a gain of a yard.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that first down, but this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender, and create the space needed for the quarterback to pick up the first down.
They go play action for Lawrence. That's caught over the middle by Thomas. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
That's another
18 yards on the connection. That's good for a Jaguar first down.
So far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
And a nice run there on first down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 32-yard line.
They'll run it once more with ETN. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Great job here by this linebacker, Mike. There was no reading and reacting. From the snap, he was attacking. Meets the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
The backfield empty here for 3rd and 2. Lawrence now. To the left side. It is caught by Myers. And it looks like he's going to have the first down. The defense was right there, but a gain of 2. Good enough for the first down.
A gain of 3.
This has been a really impressive drive, Mike, really from the start. And this is something defenses want to force offenses to do. Methodically work their way down the field, but they've been highly efficient, and now they get another first down.
And he could not set his feet to fire that one. It is incomplete. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been a bit of a pedestrian game for this quarterback and ultimately this passing game here today, Mike. And I know they all would have loved to connect on that deep throw. I think that stat sheet would have looked a whole lot different, but just a little off in their execution and leads to an incompletion.
Now 2nd down throw for Lawrence. That's complete to ETN. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line. 18 yards on the catch and run will move the chains.
That's good for a Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
And what really stands out about this drive is the ability of the quarterback to really spread the ball around to multiple targets and put so much pressure on the defense, deciding who do they want to account for, because no matter who they try to take away, quarterback's doing a nice job of finding the open man.
Not much there, maybe a yard.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Lawrence. Escaping to his left.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his 1st and 2nd read, but what they fail to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
Converted twice on 3rd down already on this drive. Now can they do it for a 3rd time? Lawrence. That is caught, and they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal.
That's another Jaguars first down.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
And he's not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose yardage. They push him backwards.
So there's multiple factors, Mike, that make blitzes successful. So, of course, there's the initial design. Can you attack the vulnerabilities of the offense's blocking scheme? And then in this case, the next phase, is the timing. You can see this linebacker knew exactly when that ball was going to be snapped. The offensive line had no chance to identify and pick him up, and he's able to bring him down for a loss. It makes sense on 2nd and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have 3rd down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on 3rd and goal.
Lawrence from the gun here on 3rd down. This caught, and he's going to be marked short of that 1st down. How do you want to play it? They need almost 2 full yards. Decision time, 4th down.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
And he barrels his way into the end zone. Travis Etienne, touchdown, Jacksonville. Greg, I wasn't so certain about leaving the offense out there, but they did, and it paid off with a touchdown.
And I love it, Mike. I think we're starting to see this more and more often in today's NFL. Take advantage of field position. Put the trust in your offense. It's exactly what their head coach does here and certainly pays off.
Little on now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Jaguars will extend this 3rd quarter lead.
14.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Doolin. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Colts offense ready to take over possession of the football. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. To throw is Leonard. A short pass taken in by Warren. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
3-yard pickup.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
Taylor gets it out of the pistol. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. It's a pickup of 12. That's good for a Colts 1st down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll.
Oh, not a good throw there. That's across his body. It's intercepted. Picked off by Foye Aluakar. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I think he chalked this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
First down throw for Lawrence. This one complete to Washington. He's taken down just shy of the 10. It'll be a pickup of 10. First down, Jacksonville.
first down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the first down.
Yeah, he did a nice job there, sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8.
3-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Room to run. It's ETN. And he's going to go backwards, taken down at the 6.
Back at the 6-yard line.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. To the goal line and in. Touchdown, Jaguars. That is 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Here's Cam Little for the PAT. His kick is good. And the Jaguars are going to extend their lead.
Colts 14.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Colts offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Off the play fake, it is Leonard. He keeps it himself. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. That run good for a dozen. And a very quick first down.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
Here's a deep shot for Pierce. And he will score. Allen Pierce. Touchdown, Indians. A beautiful combination in the air there. The pass downfield and bringing it the rest of the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's really just a great route, Mike, and then a beautiful throw. The accuracy of the throw is what allowed the receiver not only to secure the catch, but then be able to turn it up and finish the play and find himself in the end zone.
Their head coach, 2 fingers in the air. They'll say no to the extra point and go for 2.
The Colts will line up for the 2-play conversion.
They'll run their tight end runner. And he will not get to the goal line, so no tacking on 2 points. Still a 3-score game, as the difference is 18.
So you give up a touchdown on defense. The question is, how are you going to respond on the 2-point try? Well, respond did they ever? Big difference giving up 8 than there is giving up 6.
you kidding me? Hey, you're not quick enough!
After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. The return starts from the 5. The Jaguars offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They've definitely outplayed their opponents to this point in the third quarter. They might be looking to grind out some first downs and chew up some valuable time on the clock. Begins with a carry from ETN. He'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line. 12 yards on the game. That's good for a quick first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So, from the 36, it is first and 10. Once again, it's ETN. He's going to have a first down as he's taken down on what is the final play of this third quarter. So, 3 quarters now in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A couple of first downs, and the football's out to the 48-yard line as they come up first and 10. That's taken in by Thomas. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. A big play for Jacksonville. 31 yards.
Jaguars first down. A gain of 31 yards. First down, Jacksonville.
Well, I think one thing's for sure, Mike. I don't think we're seeing an offense that is comfortable with this late lead. They're continuing to put pressure on the defense and say, hey, I don't care how much we're up by. We're going to continue to execute our passing game, and if there's opportunities downfield, we're going to continue to take them.
Lawrence now to throw on first down. Right back to Thomas. He's got it again. And he'll be marked down at the 7. And it will set up first and goal.
Big-time completion right there, and this isn't just a spot where they're trying to run the game out here in the fourth quarter. They were not only trying to pick up points, but they're trying to get in the end zone and extend this lead. So, really nice job here late. Let's see if they can put this one out of reach.
And he's going to lose yardage here, taken down back at the 8.
So the offense trots out the old jumbo package. So they bring out 3 tight ends, big bodies, but the defense kind of sees it coming. They've got to change it up. You can't be so predictable. Big bodies run, small bodies pass, and I think that's a little bit of what's going on here.
Play action now. It's Lawrence. He's got it at the 3. He's in. Brendan straight. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
Little on now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Jaguars will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter.
Colts 20.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Doolin. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Here's the Indianapolis offense. Now as they get set to take over once more, they'll do so with 1st and 10. Operating out of the gun, it is Leonard. He'll step up and run this. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
To the air on 2nd down, here's Leonard. Open man downfield, it's Pittman. A big gainer for Indianapolis. 31 yards.
1st down.
Well, he certainly didn't look like a rookie on that long completion, Mike. Not only his ability to scan the field and find his favorable matchup, but he was able to hit his downfield target in the perfect spot that led to that big gain.
Now it's Taylor. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're asked to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blocker, make the stop, and keep it to no gain.
Leonard now on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. This one going to be sniffed out, blown up in the backfield.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
3rd and long. From the gun, here's a throw by Leonard. And he can hang on. It is incomplete. A chance there, a big chance for a huge play, but he couldn't reel it in.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down? It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on 4th and long. That was a big ask. And the defense turns them away. The Jags offense ready to see what they can do. This one appears to be safe in hand. It has been a clinical performance to this point. Now they'll try to finish up strong. ETN now on 1st and 10. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
That's swung out to ETN. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field. And this is a great example here why.
Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And he's very close to a 1st down, but it doesn't look like he got there. And yes, they're going to mark him a yard short.
As a play caller, those are the plays that just drive you crazy, Mike. You think you're going to pick up the 1st down, you get tackled just shy of the sticks, and now a little bit of a gamble here on 4th down.
And This is going to work out for him. Out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside the 10. The Colts offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. On first down, they'll start with Taylor. And that's the way you want to run it on first down. A gain of 7.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
Throwing on second down, Leonard. He takes off. And he wisely hit the deck at the end of that one. No unnecessary shot there. It is a first down.
A gain of 17
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
Now, this looks like a design run. He's done it again, back-to-back good runs. 19 this time, and another first down.
19 more yards.
There's just so many ways this offense can beat you, Mike. He adds such a layer to this offense with their ability to use him as a designed runner, and we can see there as he picks up the first down.
Here's Leonard now throwing on first and 10. There he goes again. And he will give himself up at the end of that one.
He was brought down
The best quarterbacks don't see the rush, they feel the rush, and that's exactly what this guy was able to do here. He's able to escape the initial pressure and immediately realizes, I got some space out in front of me, picks up a solid gain here on first down.
From the gun, here's Leonard. This throw right side, pulled in by Pittman. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. That one good for 29.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
The 11-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
It is second and 6. They'll throw. It's Leonard. He'll step up and run.
Give him credit for keeping this play alive as long as he could. This easily could have gone down for a loss, but he's kind of able to find his way forward and at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
Been a good drive, but they need to convert here on 3rd and 5. Now Leonard. He'll try to run for it. And he's in! Leonard! Touchdown, Colts. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. This will pay off with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this one.
Groupie now for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Colts are able to cut into the deficit.
Jaguars 45. Colts 27.
With down 3 scores and it's late, they're going to need a few bounces to go their way. They'll start right here, trying to get an onside kick.
You have no choice. You find yourself down big here late in the fourth quarter, Mike. You got nothing to lose. Give it a shot. Nice job here by the hands team recovering. They're going to take over possession.
The Jaguars offense ready to get back at it. Well, the goal here is to run some time off the clock. The game is well in hand as they get back on offense for 1st and 10. Here's ETN. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lawrence now on 2nd down. He's got Myers on the completion. And they'll take this down inside the 35. It's a gain of 12 there. That's good for a Jaguar. 1st down.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and
8. 2 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Look them up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll get creative here on the jet sweep. And this defense having nothing of it. They get them down for a loss on the play.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go, because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out front.
Cam Little for this field goal attempt. This one from 49. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Jaguars will extend their lead.
27.
I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
So, after the field goal, back out is Little to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. Here's Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense heading back for their next possession. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. To throw on 1st and 10. Leonard. Left side, that is caught by Warren. Now the Colts will use the first of their timeouts to get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
at the 34-yard line.
Focus, focus. Stay tough, boys. Stay tough.
Now it's 2nd and 1. To the air is Leonard. That's going to be intercepted. That's the linebacker, Devin Lloyd. And the Jaguars are going to take over just shy of midfield.
And that should be the final dagger in this one. I mean, barring something dramatic happening here, Mike, I just don't think there's enough time or possessions left in this game to pull off any sort of comeback.
Here comes the Jacksonville offense now, heading back onto the field. And still 2 timeouts left for the defense, but no real need to use them. They're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Get this stop, defense.
They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll give it to ETN to start this drive. A gain of 4 as he's taken down.
ETN, the ball carrier. The tackle made at the 47-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. On the run to the right. And he will be taken down. We'll see if they want to use those timeouts. But this one is about done.
That's good for a Jaguars. First down.
So it is a win for our visitors, the Jaguars. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.